The headlines. Former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson deliberately misled Parliament over breaches of COVID rules. That's the verdict from a committee of MPs. At least 15 people have been killed in a major road accident in Canada. North Koreans tell the BBC how the government in Pyongyang is becoming increasingly oppressive. And Messi mania comes to Beijing. The Argentine star puts on a show as the world's champions beat the Socceroos in China. Greek authorities have arrested 9 suspected people smugglers in connection with the deadly sinking of a migrant boat on Tuesday. All are believed to be Egyptian nationals. More than 100 people have been rescued, but nearly 80 of them have died and up to 600 are still missing.
A shipwreck off the southern coast of Greece leaves 79 dead and hundreds more unaccounted for, including scores of children. NATO's defense chiefs vow more support for Ukraine as the country makes slow progress in its counteroffensive against Russia.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has announced new funding and support for Ukraine from NATO countries during a 2-day meeting with defense ministers in Brussels. They're also expected to agree on a timetable to train Ukrainian pilots to fly Western jets, including F-16s. However, there are still no decisions on whether Ukraine will actually be provided with the jets. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned that the world is racing towards a climate change disaster and dismisses the global response as woefully inadequate. He says current climate policies will lead to average temperatures 2.8 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times by the end of the century, nearly twice the UN goal of 1.5-degree rise. Tech Titan Foxconn makes 60% of Apple products. Now, with smartphone demands hitting saturation, the firm is now looking for the next big thing. But being based in Taiwan, it recently found itself caught between U.S. and China about the most secretive state in the world, North Korea. Earlier, we heard reports about people who are starving to death because food is so scarce. Now, our Seoul correspondent Jean McKenzie reports on how the state is cracking down, are making it even harder for people to survive. Now we put our findings to the North Korean government. Its embassy in London said the information collected isn't entirely factual, and it's derived from fabricated testimonies from forces who are anti-Democratic People's Republic of Korea. It has always prioritized the interests of the people, even at difficult times, and has an unwavering commitment to the well-being of the people. And you can see more of this story on the documentary North Korea, The Insiders, in the UK on BBC iPlayer and on BBC News this weekend. Now, Beijing City's government has announced that its healthcare system will cover the cost of a number of fertility treatments to try to boost China's birth rate. 16 procedures, including IVF, will be covered by the people's health insurance. China's population fell this year for the first time in 6 decades, and the number of babies born dropped to a record low.